Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're turning, welcome back. You know how we do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit or arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So channel members, you will have your next Major Arcana series video posted Tuesday or Wednesday. That will be the Hermit card, so definitely check into that. And if you're interested in the Major Arcana series or any of the series that the memberships have had, definitely check the membership link down in the description box below. So I have a couple of things laid out already. I needed to, because as soon as I sat down to hit record, I just got this like oof of like a really big energy, and so I needed to set these down so that I could understand what I'm working with, because this is actually a little outside what I typically channel. And I'm already tuned in. I've already had to channel this to a certain extent in order to even understand what I'm working with here. So we will pull more cards, and I am again using the Urban Crow Oracle. I usually don't use this on the channel, but it seems like it's time. It seems like it wants its time in the limelight. And the interesting thing is that it's coming out for a reading that it's not necessarily associated with the dead or with ancestors. So there is a bit of an ancestral thing to it though. So we'll get into this. So first I have the scroll. The scroll is from I Scry with Steph. I will link her channel in the description box. If you're unfamiliar with I Scry with Steph, definitely check her out. Her scrolls are amazing. Her readings are amazing. And she as a person is amazing. So just go check her out. Now, this scroll is this. And as soon as I pulled this, it was just like a confirmation for me about this big energy that I feel. When I see this, I'm seeing a figure with its arms outstretched, but then I'm almost seeing that it has its hands clasped as well. It's almost like this gathering of energy that it disperses, and we see that here with these spirals. I'm getting a heavy undertone of snake energy. So if you're familiar with snake energy, there's a lot of regeneration. There's a lot of like forward movement, even planning into the future. Snake is the energy that keeps things cyclical and keeps things moving, but it's also the dispenser of knowledge, right? The giver of knowledge. And so here, one of the energies that's coming through is this snake-like energy. There's something that has snaked down through history from this particular being, and this feels like the way that it presented to me was an old god. And this old god or old gods, it's almost as though there was some sort of energy that has been seeded down through history into whoever this message is for. And so this message is quite different than other messages that I have been doing recently. This is striking me a little bit more similar to some messages that I did early on. This is a very powerful message. It's very big. This is not a message that's meant for everybody, right? I only feel that there's maybe 5 or 6 people that will come across this video who this message is actually for. I don't want to limit it, but I have to be real, right? That's actually what I feel. This is very important information for whoever this message is for. So I want to preface this by saying that if I'm telling you something you don't know, then this message probably isn't for you. How you're going to know that this message is for you is you're going to have already known this, and you've just been like on the fence about believing it, and this is your confirmation. Or there's aspects of this message that you're like, oh, that absolutely explains the things that have been going on for me. And it's just that little nudge that you need to understand some sort of story or some sort of picture that's been taking place that maybe you didn't have that last puzzle piece for. So let's continue. So one of the things that I'm seeing inside of this, because I am pulling the crows, I am getting very heavy Odin and Morrigan energy. So I just want to say that it doesn't necessarily have to be those deities, but that's a very heavy energy that I'm getting. There's also something about a standing stone that has writing on it. I don't know if it's runes. I don't know what it is. I just keep seeing a standing stone as I'm talking about this, almost as though there was some sort of spell or decree written on a particular standing stone somewhere. And this is a standing stone that is important for somebody's family. It's almost like your ancestral lineage. This particular land that the standing stone was on was very important. One of the things that's taking place inside this energy is a person who this is meant for. You had a very rough upbringing. I'm seeing this here from preparation, because this was a preparatory phase, right? And I'll explain why that is. So again, if you are a person who you're like, you know, I didn't sign up for that, I didn't want any of this, then this isn't your message. Whoever I'm reading for, you know that this is it, and you know that this is what you're supposed to be doing, and you want to be doing it. I can't stress that enough. The person who this message is for absolutely wants to be doing this, because this is part of their authenticity. It's part of who they are. It's something that makes them up inside. So with this preparation, one of the things that we see is we see this house. And the house inside this deck often speaks to me about early childhood or home life or family that we were raised in. Sometimes it's the absence of that family. There's a lot of tumultuousness surrounding that situation here with those waters. And here what we see is we see this rock being dropped by this crow. This crow is representing you in my reading right now. And we're seeing these spiral symbols in the background. So there's something cyclical, something that was passed through the generations that fell to us to heal. Whoever I'm reading for, you've done a lot of healing work, you've done a lot of self-healing, and that was the preparation that was needed. You had to go through the ups and downs of life and really have the things that you had to climb yourself out of in order to build personal integrity and personal strength. There's a strength of character and resilience that was required in order for you to fulfill whatever it is that this is. It almost feels, I'm not going to say almost feels, it does feel, I know. It's like whoever's message this is, your ancestors made a pact or an agreement of some kind with this particular deity. It feels very like this is like their patron, or this is a deity that they, you know, were the high priest or the priestess of, or like worked in the temple for, you know, something like that. We're in the service of, and there's something that this deity stood for behind the scenes, not like the surface myth, right? It's something behind the scenes, something in the mystery school teaching about this deity. And this is something that this family lineage basically said, I will allow my lineage to carry this energy forward until like the right one comes, right? So it's almost like not necessarily being in the incarnation of this deity, but incarnating with a heavy dose of this archetype's energy inside of us in order to complete some sort of mission, some sort of goal, something that is huge. It feels very big, and that's why I was having such a hard time really navigating this, is because the energy inside this reading is massive. This is something that has far-reaching consequences, and it feels like it's important to the story of humanity. I have to say that again, because I have to say it for myself so that I can follow that energy. It's something that feels important to the story of humanity. Okay, and right here with this dropping of the rock, this is like when we've finally grown our wings and we've understood exactly how to heal ourselves, and we let some sort of burden go. It was at that moment that we activated whatever this energy is, and this now becomes you. This is the energy being spiraled into you, seeded into you from your past lineage. And right here, if you look, there's this little chunky on this one that has never come off. It's like right there, see it? And that's right over the heart space. It's like this energy is coming in from the past, and this energy is going out into the future from that heart space. So we've definitely done a lot of heart space healing, whoever this message is for. Again, I feel that this is something that was seeded into us. We have sacred space. So again, either within like a temple setting or a ritual setting, we have this mother and we have this father, and they're looking at their children. They're saying, yes, into my offspring. I vow that my offspring will serve this divine purpose. But it had to wait for the right one. And you are probably the first person in your family to have ever undergone a healing journey like this. You can probably look back in the past and say, you know, my mother and father weren't healed. Their mother and fathers weren't healed. This is where we finally come into a person who is strong enough to carry this energy. Here, one of the things that may be entailed in this divine mission, divine plan, is this energy of release. I feel that for some of you, this is about helping the dead transition, helping people transition out of life, helping the dead be born, right? There's something about those liminal spaces that's coming into this for me. Some of you, this may be about helping people release their own trauma, about helping people release any number of things, addictions, for example. But there's something about the energy of release that is coming into this quite heavily. Okay, let's go ahead. I am seeing a door inside the crystal ball. I typically don't say the symbols that I'm seeing, but I'm seeing a door, just kind of like confirmation for that. Here what we have is we have observation. Now notice how this crow is looking at that web, and that web has a spider. I'm seeing this crow as this deity, again, giving me very heavy Odin or the Morrigan vibes. Doesn't have to be them, but this is kind of what this is giving me right now. Really looking at this web, this weaving of a family lineage as it spreads out, and having made an agreement with this spider and just waiting to see what happens on this web. This deity has been waiting for a very long time. Some of you may have been feeling this deity knocking on your door for some time. You may have even been working with this god for a very long time. But there's something about a regenerative phase with that snake energy that's coming through. You've regenerated through something, and that's why now is the right time. There are something about fall, something about spring, I don't know what, but that's fall and spring, something about those liminal spaces inside of our life. So you might be in a transition currently inside of your life, whether it's moving or if it's leaving a relationship behind, or if someone significant has just passed. There's something here that is requiring us to kind of get our willpower going, and this is really like the cap or the icing on that personal strength that is needed to set this off. So there's something very interesting happening for whoever I'm reading for right now inside your life. There does seem to be a secondary deity, possibly a third. We have, for example, here there's 4 crows, but I'm really being drawn to 2 of them. Here there's 2 of them, 2 of them, and here there's 3. So 2 or 3, quite possibly. The passing of winter into spring is going to be very important. You know, I keep getting that message. I keep getting that, like, end of February, beginning of March is really important for this collective. And so it does seem like that's what's happening here. Now, a word of warning. As this energy starts to manifest in your life, be prepared. And one of the things you want to be prepared for is because when this energy manifests, it is essentially going to change your vibration. Anytime we experience a vibration change in our lives with us as a person, and we change, right? We change. Whenever we change, there's things around us that start to disintegrate. So tower moments, right? The friends that we have, there may be like all of a sudden these upsets or these upheavals. I'm getting the card Upheaval, which is literally why I'm saying that. There's another storyline coming through this, though, for someone here who this message is for. You don't have children, and you know you're not going to have children. And you understand that this is part of this energy, is that you are the last of the line. You've healed all the karma, and so there's no karma being reborn after you. That's just a small message for some of you. Obviously, if you're part of this collective and you don't have a child, I'm not trying to tell you that you're not going to. Like I said, this is something that somebody already knows. Okay, with the passing of a loved one, some of you, that may have been what kicked this off, hence the upheaval. But for others of you, though, there's just going to be a loss of particular connections that are in your life because you will have changed and outgrown them. The freedom of space and the purity of the energy around you is absolutely required for whatever the work is. Okay, and then I'm hearing one last card. Okay. I don't know that I'm even supposed to say anything about this. I almost feel that I'm supposed to just show this to you. I think that whoever this message is for, you're going to understand the message that's being given in this card, with freedom being the final card for this. And so I'm going to leave this here. If this resonates for you, feel free to like this video. I wish you the best of luck. This is big. This is big. So I wish you the best of luck. Yeah, this is amazing. This is really cool. This is a very cool energy to be able to sift through and sit inside of, and it's epic. So I hope that everything goes the way that you would love it to go in this situation, the way that you envision it going. I hope that you're blessed tenfold for the things that you're about to do for people inside of this collective that you're trying to work for. So until next time.